All right. I'm Torah Bright here, taking over as host for The Dump. And we have a very, very exciting guest. Welcome to The Dump, Tess Coady.
Thanks for having me. Psyched to be here.
Oh, I think it's going to be good. We're going to be talking. We can just get to know you, get to know your journey into snowboarding, because here you are, Tess Coady, off the back of a hot season. I'm a bit jealous of some of the titles you have there, but we'll talk about that when we get there. But we're digging in, and I'm excited. So Welcome to The Dump, Tess.
Yoo-hoo.
Snowboards come down the slope and they're dangerous because they're just like a missile.
Sean White's there. You helicopter in here, bang your mom and your girlfriend, and then set your board on fire.
Okay, Tess Coady. How old are you now?
I'm 20 these days.
20 years young. You are climbing the ladder of competitive snowboarding to the top. It is so exciting. You're still a babe. You've still got so much life ahead of you, but you've also done so much. So looking into loving your journey, loving it, and being on the side and being a cheerleader. You have just signed with North Face and Monster. That's big time.
Yeah,
that's huge.
Pretty stoked on those ones. I really couldn't have asked for some better sponsors, and it's pretty sick, not gonna lie.
Yeah, you're on the big time. You're in the big time. But we want to talk a little bit about how you got there. But I'm gonna read off of your winter highlights, just coming off the back of this Northern Winter, because I don't want to miss anything. Okay. Bronze, Slopestyle World Champs. 5th in Big Air at World Champs. Now this is what I'm jealous of. Audi 9's clean sweep. Most creative rider, best trick, and ruler of the week. Clean sweep. The best of the best are there. Are you blushing? Are you stoked?
Yeah.
Are you
I don't know. I don't know. I always get a little bit weird sometimes when people hype me up, but no, I'm stoked. It was so sick. It's still so surreal though. I don't know. It's weird, but
yeah, Audi 9s. I mean, if you haven't seen the Audi 9s, hop on YouTube, Google that, because it's the most creative, beautiful piece of man-made snowboarding. And then we go for bronze Slopestyle Lux Open, bronze in Slopestyle the final World Cup in Korvac, and then 3rd in the overall Crystal Globe. That was your 2021 winter, Northern Winter.
Yeah, it was pretty bizarre, honestly. Going into this winter, I was not expecting to land on any podiums, really, if I'm honest. I knew it was going to be a tough winter because a lot of the big events that sometimes draw out some of the best riders have been cancelled, and so it meant that the World Cup season, which was the one that I was targeting, was going to be stack fields at every single event, and it was. And I knew that if I wanted to be making finals, I was going to have to bring everything to the table. And it was kind of funny. Any time that I'd make a finals this season, I was just ecstatic, over the moon. It was tough out there, and I don't know, to walk away with a couple of medals, couple of trophies. Seriously, it was so unexpected. It was such a good season, went way but above my expectations. But it was a tough one with everything going on in the world. But
oh my gosh, yeah. Adds a whole another layer to it.
Yeah, totally.
Just even navigating the world, or if you can make it there.
Yeah.
But these events, they're stacked. The best of the best are there, and you're showing up on the podium with them.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I still get, I don't know, I guess a little bit starstruck probably around some of the people I'm riding with, but standing on the podium next to them is so sick. I know, I love those girls, and it's a good time out there. No.
Out of all of those accolades, and mind you, this is just this past winter, what is the one that you hold dearest or that like still just like gives you that little twinkle about?
World champs. World
Yeah.
champs easily. Getting third at world champs was like, what the hell? Like standing at the bottom.
Where was World Champs?
In Aspen this year.
Awesome.
Buttermilk. So it was on the X Games course.
Sweet.
So that was sick because I've never ridden that one before. But yeah, I don't know.
You got
that
a
one,
taste of X Games.
Yeah, fully. But yeah, that one still gets me. Like, I don't know. It's pretty crazy. It's World Champs. Like when I was a kid, that was, everyone was gunning for that one, and it feels pretty cool for sure. But
So
good to stand there
good.
with like some really sick chicks on that podium. Zoe and Jamie, like it was sweet. It was good fun.
And so we know you're great friends with Zoe. The other girls on tour, you're all, back in my day, we were all pretty good mates. Are you still mates, or is there is there a rivalry as well?
Yeah. I mean, like bit of both for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's there to win. Let's be honest. Like, and it's
We
sick
like
though.
honesty here.
Yeah, no, it's sick. Like, I think it's sick.
So you got on the X Games course for the first time. Where's your X Games invite?
Yeah, no, didn't get one of those this year. It was a bit of a tough year for that. They were inviting a lot less riders.
Due to COVID?
Due to COVID, yeah.
Okay.
It was super tight-knit. They were running a really tight ship to keep everyone healthy, and that's super cool. But yeah,
I mean, mind you, X Games is invite only anyway, so there's no real way to purely qualify. You're selected from a panel, and usually like you've got sponsors advocating for you, voicing, saying, hey, Tess is the best, put her in there. Or you've got an agent or something going like, hey, check out this new girl, she's this, that, so there's, and I guess the exciting thing about that is like you've had your breakout year, you are on fire, you've got North Face, you've got Monster Energy, and are you going to have an invite to the X Games next year?
Well, I hope so. That'd be sick. Honestly, that'd be the dream. Like, grow up watching that one. It is the pinnacle for snowboarding. Like, yeah, like you said, it's invite only. You can't qualify into that one. You got to be picked, so you got to be up there. So, that'd be pretty sick.
I used to say it is the Olympics of action sports.
Yeah. Yeah.
The professional tour kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's I would say the experience of an X Games, it's like everything's larger than life. It's, you've had an Olympic debut, you know how the Olympics is. So I don't know. You're going to be ready and ripping and rolling when you've got that X Games invite under the lights, big air. Oh, it's going to be good. But let's go back to the very beginning. Where did Tess grow up?
Yeah, so St Kilda local, Melbourne, born and raised. Grew up there, just doing all kinds of sports, honestly. I was one of those kids who had everything, like something going on every afternoon after school, basketball, swimming in the morning, swimming. I was into gymnastics, doing all that kind of thing. Super sporty, like it was everything. And it was everything for my family as well. We were always going off to Nippers carnivals, getting in the water to go for a surf, just all of that kind of stuff. So I really grew up with just...
And how many siblings?
4 of us.
4.
Yeah. So good number, good rivalry.
And where do you fit in the 4 siblings?
Second oldest, so
okay.
The best one, of course. But
I'm second youngest.
Oh, okay. In the middle, that's good.
Yeah.
Middle ones are good.
Boys, girls?
Yeah, so older sister, then myself, my younger brother, and my younger sister as well. And yeah, we're all super tight, like 5 years apart between my older sister Lily and my younger sister Lulu.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's sick. It's cool. It's like a little tribe.
Busy parents.
Yeah, totally. But we were always having fun and super competitive, especially me and my older sister with everything. We were so competitive because we were only 18 months apart, and Lil would go and do something and I was doing it because she was doing it, It was sweet.
So when did snowboarding come into your life?
Started snowboarding when I was 9. We went up to Mount Buller on a family holiday. We had sort of just, like I said, like I did everything my older sister did, and we're in gymnastics, and she decided she wanted to stop doing gymnastics. So I was like, all right, nah, none of that, like no more of that for me. So we're kind of looking for a bit of a new hobby, and the kids at school have been raving about snowboarding and the snow and everything. So packed up the car, all 6 of us, and went up to Bulla for a week just to try it all out. And yeah, it was sick. We just did the whole ski school program and just got so into it, loved it so much.
So did you ski?
No.
Or you went straight to
board. I've actually
snowboarding?
never skied.
Oh,
I don't know how to ski.
Kind of cool.
It's kind of, yeah. But it's kind of weird. I don't know. Like, whenever I go splitboarding or stuff nowadays, like, if there's a little bit of a descent, I'm freaking out. It's terrifying. And I feel like I've gotten to that point now that I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I will ever go skiing. Like, it's sort of built it up as this thing in my head that I'm like, I don't know if I could do that. Not for me, that one, I don't think. But yeah, no, we all just got into snowboarding. Everyone jumped on snowboards.
Awesome.
Mum, dad as well. It was pretty sick. Like,
That's pretty dope. So
Yeah,
you
no, it's
all
cool.
learnt together.
yeah, we all like learned in the same week. They got a different lesson. All the kids were in the
Wow.
ski school lesson.
And your parents snowboarding as well?
They were. It's kind of a bit of a story, but yeah, they started doing it. My mum broke her wrist like pretty bad on like one of the
that's
first
not
few
a laughing
days.
matter. Sorry,
So
Mum.
yeah, that was the end of that.
Aw.
Yeah, no more of that. But no, we all loved it and really got into it. Did inter-schools that year through the school. The school was like just trying to get us involved, and we did. And I don't know, it was so sick. Like, I just loved it so much. The competing, the racing. I was super into racing when I was a kid.
We all were.
Yeah.
I used to have the race board too.
Oh, did you?
Oh,
Yeah. Nah, it was good fun. Like, I don't know, I loved it. And I was never really big, like, I wasn't not a big fan of school. So weekends, heading out to the snow, like, weeks off school for like inter-schools and Australian Junior Series and stuff like that. It was like the whole year.
Isn't
I look
it
forward to
amazing the inter-school like series, how it really is kind of a pathway for Australians
Yeah.
to get into snow?
Yeah, totally. Nah, I loved those weeks, like inter-schools was just sweet. And then you go back to school with like a bit of hardware and stuff and like
Show off your trophies. Yeah.
No, it was cool. So yeah, those were the early days until I was like, probably that would have been like 9, 10, 11, just doing that kind of thing. Sort of started doing one of the programs at Mount Bulla, transition snowboard camps, and started getting a bit more into park riding. And yeah, I think we got 2 trips up to the snowy mountains a year, one for the Australian Junior Series and one for nationals if we qualified.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, it was always pressure on at the Bulla Interschools to qualify because we wanted to go to Perisher.
More time off school,
yeah.
different place to shred.
Yeah.
So Bulla was your home resort then, was it?
Yeah. I was riding there. I was going up most weekends, school holidays, whatnot. I think probably till about 12 or 13, I'd say. Yeah.
So we know another Aussie legend from Bulla, Scotty James.
Yeah.
You're a little younger than Scotty. Do you ever remember Scotty up on the mountain? Like, or who was your like idol back then?
Oh, it's you. It's always you. Yeah, for sure. Like when we come up to do Australian Junior Series, that was half of it was like at the bottom of the pipe on the last day of the event, and Torah was there, and you get your helmet signed, you get your board signed. Like, it was so sick.
Oh my god,
it was so sick. Yeah, nah, for sure. Like, we're always, it's funny how you said it at the start. Like, you're like, like cheerleader now or whatever. But it was like same for me when I was a girl, and we would watch everything and just froth. It was so sick.
Oh. Oh my goodness.
That was every kid though, like in the snow. He's like, yeah.
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 So like you come off to me as a frother.
Oh yeah.
Like you live, eat and breathe everything snowboarding. You love it. You I heard you love to ride in the rain.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
why?
true.
Why?
Right? Okay, some of my favourite days riding ever have for sure been in the rain. Like, rainy days, I mean, everyone sort of hates it because the snow's washing away. But I'm like, when it's raining, I'm like, hell yeah, let's go, because like the snow's like soft, it's pretty slushy, and the rails are super slick. So, and like
That makes sense.
yeah, and the
Slick
park's
rails.
quiet. It's sick. Rainy days
Yeah.
are the best. Yeah, big fan.
Kind of like a meditative kind of like shred with,
Yeah.
you know, rain
It's
on
funny
your goggle
too.
lens,
It's kinda
slick
funny.
rails.
I don't know.
The thing
I like
is,
it.
it is what you make it. So
Totally.
Good
Yeah.
job.
and then by the time you get home in the RV, you're like freezing. But those are the best days.
Yeah.
But also I'm from Bulla, so I grew up with that, you know.
That is actually a good point.
Yeah.
Bulla is known to like being overcome by low hanging cloud and you can't see 2 feet in front of you.
Yeah.
So that's a good hindsight. So then when did you know that you wanted to pursue snowboarding a little bit more? Was there one event result? Was there an opportunity given to you? Like, was there a moment that you can remember?
Yeah, I guess I was always doing the Australian Junior Series and whatnot, so that was sick, and that was sort of I would say that was my into like slopestyle and like I guess pipe for a tiny bit. Like,
did you ride a bit of transition?
I only did it for that one event.
Yeah.
But like I guess I was like trying to sort of find my feet in snowboarding and what I liked more.
Yeah.
I did a lot of border cross when I was younger, so but yeah, I gravitated towards slopestyle and just loved being in the air. And I think one year at Threbo we came up for the Rookie Fest. That was a pretty sweet competition. I would have been about 14 at that one, and I won it. And I think that was the first slopestyle event I won. I got like a snowboard and stuff, and it was sick. It was so sick. But I think that one for me was sort of like, oh yeah, like maybe slopestyle is sort of where it's at for me. I'd say more than anything because I was doing everything. I was a bit of like a jack of all trades, which is so like I think it's super important when you're young. It's kind of bad to like corner yourself in too much with anything. It's good to do everything, try everything, ride everything, like, and I was doing that. But yeah, after that event I was like, oh yeah, like slope is pretty sick, you know, like I really like it. So I was started going overseas when I was 14 and just going over riding in Colorado and doing the Australian Junior it's the USASA, all of those little events around there. And yeah, that was sort of where it started to grow for me, like really started finding my feet.
And did you travel over a part of like a team or join a team while you were there? Or how did you do that? Because you're 14 years old.
Yeah, pretty young for sure. I was doing a program, transition snowboarding.
Okay,
so,
cool.
Yeah, no, it was sweet. And there was, plenty of kids just like me doing the exact same thing. So it was fun. It was a sick crew and it was, good.
I remember you guys at Colorado actually.
Yeah.
When I was setting up training, I remember the transition shred crew.
Yeah. No, it was a good crew. It was a sick environment to like grow up in, I guess.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay, so you were just doing the USSA
whatever.
Yeah, right. And you'd come back, you'd do winter to winter. How many has that been ever since you were 14 now? You've just been southern winter, northern winter?
Pretty much. There was 1 year in there that I missed, but yeah, since I was 14, I was going back-to-back seasons and loving it, missing term one at school, like living the dream, just riding. It was sick.
Okay, so we're going to go to 2017. That was pretty much your breakout year, right?
Yeah. 2017, I was 16.
How old were you? 16.
Yeah. So that was sweet. That was the first year I went to the Mammoth Mountain Snowboard team. I was riding there with a sick crew, like Dusty Hendrickson, Emily Arthur, Denver Orr. Like, it was a sweet crew. We had a good time there, and it was sick to ride with those guys and get in that park. Mammoth's known for a pretty sweet park, but it was kind of that was where I did my first World Cup there in Mammoth. It was in like January or something like that. I got a start, was pretty low expectations, but just wanted to go and feel the waters and sort of step it up and try out the World Cup tour. And it was crazy. Like, I was at the top and, Jamie was riding past me. I was like, oh my God, Jamie Anderson. Like that was pretty sweet. But it was sick. Like, I was pretty nervous the night before. Me and my friend Tom, we went to this pizza shop in Mammoth and we were just like smashing wings and like, they had a like an arcade system that was kind of busted, so we were just like stealing all the candy out of like this arcade game. It was
As
like,
you do.
yeah, like night before a World Cup, and I was like
16-year-old
eating
shenanigans.
wings and pizza and like lollies and like all this crap. But like
Dinner of champions.
yeah, totally. But yeah, it worked. Like I made finals at my first World Cup. I'm not really sure what I qualified, but I was like, what the hell? It was so crazy. I was
Just
not expecting
buzzing.
it. Yeah, totally
Yeah.
buzzing. And I think I ended up 6th at that World Cup. And yeah, that was sweet. Like that season that really kickstarted for me that season. I went over and did World Champs in Sierra Nevada, ended up in 11th at that one. I think I was 2nd at Spring Battle that year in Austria. And then we went over to the Czech Republic just to round out the season with an event. And yeah, made another finals of World Cup, ended up 6th at that one, and took out gold for Slopestyle and for Big Air at the Junior World. So yeah, it was sick. Like it was
Junior
a crazy
World
season.
champ.
It was a pretty funny one. That it was cool. Like I'd never been to the Czech Republic before, but it was like 14 degrees every day. It was super loose too.
The Czechs are amazing, and I was gonna say you probably got to party. No?
No, I mean
Maybe
16.
we don't go there.
Yeah,
We don't go there?
Maybe we don't go there.
Okay. Well, we all know what happens in the Czech Republic. If Martin Chernik was around, he would have taught you the method and how to party.
That's good. Yeah, no, that place was it was good fun. Like it was so weird though. It was really different to like Australian stuff. You walk into a store and buy like throwing stars and like tasers
Like,
and
is throwing
fireworks
stars,
and stuff.
is that like ninja stars?
Yeah, like proper like weapons, like actual. It was crazy. And there was a bunch of like rogue 16-year-olds running around with like throwing stars, but it was sick. Honestly, it was a fun 2 weeks, and yeah,
So
no, blast,
good.
yeah,
So
yeah,
good.
that was a good season for sure.
I have such fond memories of my first and only Junior World Championships, and I got 3rd there.
Oh yeah,
You took out the title. But that was like a big thing for me in my career too, because it stacks you up against the other kids your age, so you kind of really know where you sit. And for you were the best. So that alone, did that give you like confidence, like just a bit of air under your wings for you to go like, all right, like, wow, look at me go.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was cool because I don't know, I didn't expect it at all, and I think like most importantly, I was having a blast while doing it, and just was like, I was loving it. It was so much fun, and I didn't want that season to end. That was one of those seasons. Like when I was sitting on the plane coming home, I was like, I don't want to go home. Like that was the best. Yeah. So
What more ninja stars?
Yeah, totally. But yeah, no, that was sick. That's how you want to finish the season. And, like nothing better than being going home and kind of not wanting to go home because it's been so good.
Yeah, wow. That would have so I guess at this point, 2017, that's your breakout year, your Junior World Champ. How were you received getting home? Like, family was stoked. You know, were you already a part of like the Australian national team to some capacity? Like, how was, your success then being shaped for the Northern Winter and getting ready for another year?
Yeah, no, family was super stoked, and everyone was super stoked for me, but totally, I guess it turned a corner in a way that it was all of a sudden like going into an Olympic year, and like that was the possibility was there now, because I guess that season I was like, if I get to the Olympics, I get to the Olympics. But I was young. I wasn't really putting that kind of pressure on myself just yet, because I didn't really think it could happen. But after that season, everyone was like, this could for sure happen.
And then you got the OWIA going like, hey, Tess Coady,
let's go.
You can kind of qualify for the Olympics.
Yeah. It was a crazy sort of shift there, because because I guess before, like, going into that season, that wasn't really, I don't know, it was in the back of my mind for sure. But I guess I was sort of like, I'll just see how this goes. No, it definitely, it was all of a sudden like, let's go, like, let's try and make this happen, which was it was cool, but it was crazy for sure because, yeah, it was, I went from really like, you know, small time competitions, nothing really crazy, to like chasing World Cups and doing the whole
Olympic
qualifying thing.
qualification.
Yeah.
So was it always something that was a goal, like to go to the Olympics one day?
Yeah, totally.
Did you think it was going to be 2018?
I hoped as a kid that it was going to be. You know, I was like, I loved watching the games when I was a kid, like summer, winter, everything. I always
TV
watched
on
it.
for 2 weeks straight, right?
And it's going to be the next one. Like, yeah, I love it. I think it's so sick.
Yeah,
but
we're due. It's already a year late. We're ready for it. Yeah,
so been ready for a year for sure. But yeah, like I did want it, and you know, when you're a kid, you write these things down on paper, like big goals for sure. And yeah, so when I was like 14 and I watched like Sochi, I was like, yeah, I want to go to Pyeongchang, like 100%. That was the goal. But for a while there, you know, like it almost felt like time was running out. And I think there was a point where I was like, no, I don't know about that one. I don't think it'll happen.
Well, that brings me to like Australia. We can't spend too much time here training. Like our qualification, like tour, like there's a couple World Cups in New Zealand. Like what were the challenges for you, or what you felt were your challenges trying to make this Olympic qualification real? Like was it hard? I mean, you said you loved being away from home that one winter, didn't want to go back. But you know, what do you think were your biggest challenges?
I think after that really great season in 2017, when it did sort of like turn a corner and become like Olympic qualifying, the big challenge for me that year was actually really the time that I spent away from home. I hadn't spent that much time away from home. I was, over to New Zealand that season doing a World Cup. I was overseas in Saas chasing World Cups there. I think I got a really short turnaround at home, and then I was back overseas in Mammoth at the end of November. And that was kind of hard for me. Yeah, I said that the season before I didn't really want to go home, but then that season, like I for sure was kind of homesick. Like I don't really get that, and I hadn't gotten that before, but that time I was like, it was my first Christmas away from home. Like, I don't know, it was really cold that season as well. It kind of didn't help for whatever reason, but yeah, that was probably the biggest challenge, like missing home for sure and missing Christmas.
Yeah. Because I guess, you know, as that like coming off that hot season, then the realization that Olympic qualification is possible. You've got people telling you that, you know, it's possible, you know, in your heart it's possible. And then you're over there just putting yourself through the paces, leaving no stone unturned, you know, doing everything you have to. It's, I don't know, for me, like I felt that it did kind of become a bit draining sometimes. Yeah. And you miss home, and you miss all your like creature comforts, and you're at hotel room to hotel room, and like did you feel that? Did it feel like there was pressure that was uncomfortable sometimes? Yeah,
I think there was for sure, but a lot of it was pressure myself because like I wanted to go to that Olympics. Yeah, like no word of a lie for sure. I wanted to make it happen, but I had to make it happen. And I guess in those situations, sometimes it's kind of like hurry up and wait because you've got a lot of work to do to get there. Mm-hmm. And it's still like a while away, like 6 months, whatever. And you got to be able to put in the work to get there. But it was kind of intense. And because I'd never done like a World Cup season before, I'd really just like jumped straight into the deep end. Like I hadn't really like trickled in doing like a World Cup here, a World Cup there. Like I was,
because was 2017 the first World Cup year?
Yeah. That was the first year I did World Cup, and then all of a sudden I was on like going to the
Northern
kind
Winter,
of thing.
then you're in New Zealand doing your first World Cup, then in Suspe in October or so, and then back in the States
in December.
December qualifying.
Exactly.
That's a big year. And then Olympics comes around February 2018.
That was the one. I had a pretty good lead up into it. I think I got 10th at a big air in Copper in December. That was sweet. I got my first World Cup podium in Aspen Slopestyle in January, we flew over to the Larks Open straight after that. It was sick. Like, it was so sick. Standing on that podium, I was like, what the hell? Like, that one felt good for sure. But we flew over to Larks for that event and we got like skunked with weather and I got super sick as well. So it actually worked in my favor.
There was good snow.
So good. It was so
there.
good. Oh yeah,
There was good
yeah.
snow. Did you take advantage of it or were you just kind of, you got super sick?
Yeah, so kind of every day I was like waking up, checking my phone to see what was going on. And every day that it said it was cancelled, I was like, yes, back to bed.
In bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty rough. Like,
you can't push it.
Nah, I was going up the gondola train, like tram thing.
Yeah.
They have in Lark's massive gondi, goes super high and like my head felt like it was going to explode. I felt
brutal.
so rough. So
Brutal.
Yeah, that one getting canned, I was kind of psyched about because I was just not feeling too good.
Yeah. So with that one being canned, were you relying on results like for qualification or were you okay?
No, I was good.
Cool.
I had snuck in at that point. I was sitting, I think I was like 27th and it's top 30 combined to qualify. So I was good. Like I was just inside, but I was all good. I wasn't really worried about it. I think
so you were like, okay, I can be sick and thank you for cancelling it.
Yeah, totally. I think
Thank you.
But the points from Larks for sure would have helped, but without them, I was all good. I know that there was a few people at that event that didn't qualify for the Olympics because it got cancelled. So, so yeah, it was
very unfortunate.
Yeah, no, definitely. But yeah, it was. But yeah, no, it worked out fine for me. So at that point, like me and Em, we were rooming in Mammoth, and I flew back to Mammoth and whatnot, and we were kind of like, damn, like I guess we're going to the Olympics. Like, what the hell? It was pretty sick.
How did you celebrate? Or did you celebrate? Or were you just kind of like, all right, let's go to the Olympics and celebrate later?
Oh, no, we were talking about like how we were going to like announce it on Instagram or whatever.
Yes.
It was pretty funny. We made this like super...
We made the Aussie team.
No, it was like we made this super bogan like clip of us like talking about qualifying for the Olympics and put like English subtitles underneath kind of thing.
Did you do like were you intending to do voiceover like subtitle thing? Like were you gonna
pretty much
Korean with Aussie subtitle? No.
Like we were just talking like saying that we'd made it to the Olympics, but just like
did it go out?
Yeah, it
you
did.
Put it out.
It's on Emily's Instagram, but it's pretty funny. It's like, heavy Australian accents and then like subtitles to understand what's going on. But yeah.
Is that why you did the subtitles? So that people could understand your Aussie accents?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I get it now.
We like played into it super hard, but yeah, it was funny. It was cool. It was psyched. Like we were pretty psyched for sure.
Yeah. And going to the Olympics for the first time, it's pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
Like becoming a part of the Australian team, wearing a uniform. Were you able to go to opening ceremony?
Yeah.
Okay. So you got the full experience.
Yeah. No, we got the full experience. It was sick. Like walking into the room and you've got your 2 suitcases on your bed and like got your name on it and everything. I was like, what the hell? Like so crazy. It was like Christmas, like, but on steroids. Like it's so much stuff. Like,
because you get like your riding gear.
Yeah.
You get thermals. You get shoes.
Yeah.
You've got a formal outfit.
Yeah.
You've got opening and closing ceremony outfits.
Podium
outfit.
You get like a phone.
Yeah. So they can make sure you don't disappear.
Yeah.
It's like pretty.
Like a lot of stuff for sure. Like new runners and stuff like that. Yeah.
Did you get Blundstones?
No.
Oh, I got them in 2014 and like I still wear them.
Oh, yeah.
Got Blundstones and love them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's so good. I think everyone kind of has, I don't know, like that one piece from the Olympic kit that they just wear it until it dies.
What's yours?
Mine was the runners. I just wore them to the death. And I reckon they were like a size too big for me as well. So I was just kind of like swimming around in them for about almost like 4 years. I got rid of them not that long ago.
Now, let's get into the Olympics actually.
Yeah.
Let's, because all the swag talk, that's cool and all, but like I want to know. So the Olympics wasn't ideal for you. You got there. Tell us a little bit about what happened with, training days and weather and like just everything. Paint a picture.
Yeah, so it was definitely pretty tough with the weather. That was sort of the main thing. We had a lot of wind. When you looked out onto like the next ridge line from the top of the Slopestyle course, there was a windmill farm there. So it was a windy place. Like it was
They
pretty
picked
bizarre.
the best places
I know, right?
for these Olympics.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, like the course was big. The rails were really big. They're all cut pretty properly, so they were sort of deathy if you were coming off them early. They were big, they were tall, jumps were big. Like the course was sick. Like the course was really fun. I actually really enjoyed riding it, but it was just it was a struggle with the wind more than anything. Like
yeah.
I think we had 2 or 3 training days there. Sort of got some stuff done. I sort of had like pieced my run for the most part. There was a lot of talk about like the weather and the course and like people getting hurt. There was some people already going down in practice like pretty hard for sure.
Because of just conditions and the build or
like it was a big course and I guess they take top 30 men and women, and I don't know, like it's the Olympics, like people are gonna throw down for sure, and people do. So yeah, people were pushing themselves in practice and like
gold fever. Were people feeling it?
Yeah,
I
think so. And and people's like already getting hurt in practice and stuff, which was a bummer. But but you know, you get given a course, you got to ride it. Like you're a professional, you gotta ride it. You gotta work out how to do
dance,
this
monkey,
kind of
dance. It's showtime.
Yeah, fully. So that was really the challenge during the practice, was battling the weather. And then morning of the event, the guys ran first, and I think at this point qualities had been cancelled. It was going to be a straight final because of weather.
Oh wow.
So in the morning there we watched the dudes go and throw down. One thing we were noticing, like every time someone dropped, it was like a headwind and people were pinning it. Like speed was tough.
So with the wind and a headwind, was it inconsistent as well?
Yeah.
So like if you're pinning it and the wind isn't blowing, then you're overshooting it?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. It was a lot of that. So it was like swinging around the place. I don't know, it was wild. Like it was pretty wild. But
have you had a wilder day on the hill, or was this like up there?
For jumping, I'd say this one was pretty up there for sure. Like we've had some pretty windy days, but when it's consistent wind, it's pretty manageable, but it wasn't. Yeah. And I think practice was a bit like that too. Anyway, we watched Red win. Like, that was sick. We were super psyched for him. And anyway, got out there because we were next.
You were on the same day?
Yeah, we're on the same day, just sort of later in the day, like 11 o'clock or something like that. And got up there for practice. It was kind of blowing. The FIS guys were like, all right, like, we're doing this practice, but don't forget, like, it's your choice. Like, it's up to you. Like, you don't have to do this. But we were,
the show's going on without you.
Yeah, totally. It was like
TV rights are paid for.
This
is going down. Yeah,
exactly. So it was sort of like, well, what do you think we're going to do? Like, it's the Olympics, man. Like,
we've just worked how many years and sacrificed how much?
Yeah, totally. But
my family's watching.
Exactly. Like,
my country's watching.
What do you expect now? Like, people are just going to start pulling out or whatever.
It's a hard position to be put in.
Yeah, definitely kind of tough. And like, the girls are starting to say, like, this is pretty gnarly, but like, if you're not going to cancel it, then we're going to ride. Like, like, it's the Olympics. Like, you know.
So then what was your mentality then? Like, obviously you can't put the best show on possible, right? Like, you've got to kind of tone things down and ride to conditions. Or what was your, I guess, thoughts and process dealing with this?
Yeah, well, I for sure thought it was kind of gnarly. Like, I was like, oh, it's pretty windy, but it was that what I was saying. I was like, I'm here. What am I going to do? Pull out now? Like, hell nah. Like, let's go. Like, I'm going to, try and make the most of this, do what I can and whatnot.
Because I heard, like, not too many people were down to do it, but a few people did really want to do it. Like, Jamie Anderson wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people didn't really. Is that
I can't fully remember. I think
Yeah.
for the most part people weren't too psyched, but it wasn't really a choice. Like they had the TV
They're like
time
it's
slot.
running with or without you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That was it.
Yeah.
So they had the TV time slot. People were like, "Oh, it's sketchy," but like if it's on, it's on. Like
Yeah.
we're going for this. So yeah, that's how it was. Anyway, dropped in for my first round of practice. I think Zoe was actually just in front of me and started hitting the features, hitting the rails, went to the first jump, like knowing about the wind and stuff, and I like knuckled. And then, so first jump was one of those weird, like sort of not side hits, but like kind of angled jumps.
Yeah.
Next jump was it was like a tabletop. So knuckled first jump. Second jump, I kind of like board across it actually, because it was like a tabletop. Could
Yeah.
kind of do that. It's like low impact, whatever. And then bottom jump, I was like pinning into it. And like right on the takeoff, I just felt this like gust of wind behind me.
Ugh.
And I just like, it was like in Mario when you hit like the triangles that like boost you off. And I just went,
That was a good visual. Oh my gosh. Did you feel it? Did you know that was happening? Like,
yeah, like, I don't know. I was like, I mean, I've overshot jumps before,
Yeah.
you know, like,
not Super Mario style though.
oh, I've had some pretty good ones for sure. But I think the thing was like right on the takeoff, like I knew that I was about to go like really big. So I tried to sort of lengthen out my jump by like kind of transferring a little bit.
Yeah.
I wanted to like, I was like on the left side of the takeoff and I wanted to like sort of jump like across. So I wasn't going like this way, I was going like this way a little bit more so I could maybe catch some landing. And I didn't really realize, but there was a fence like on that right side of the landing. So when I was coming down, I was like, well, there's no way I'm going to land this. Like I'm putting my board down to break the fall.
Yeah.
And it was either sort of like pull my board down and it was going to like spit out, break the fall, and I was going to go into that fence, or I was going to land on my heels a bit and miss the fence, and I landed on my heels and knee was done, but I didn't know it, like for sure. I was like,
did you feel it on the impact?
Yeah,
or-
I did. Like I landed and I kind of grabbed it and I was like, oh, but it didn't actually feel that bad. It was just like, oh, what the hell? Anyway, unstrapped, got up. I was like, that was terrifying. Like whatever. I was like sort of choking back tears at this point. I was like walking along past all like the fans, like people were there getting super hyped, and I was like, what just happened? Like what the hell? And I was like, yeah, sort of like choking back tears, like went strapped in. Alan from XTM and James Jackson were there as well. And they saw it and they're like, oh, you're all good. And I was like, yeah, I think so. Like, so I strapped in and James was like, all right, you need to get your head back together. Like go past, like move past that, like keep going. And I was like, all right, like strapped in, and then started riding down, did like a toe side turn, did a heel side turn, and my knee just went. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, just started crying.
It's kind of
like,
cold in here, but that makes me.
Yeah. Nah, I knew at that point.
So
I was
then
like,
that was like, whoa.
Yeah.
This is in practice of your Olympic debut, and you couldn't drop in
Yeah. No.
for your Olympic run.
Yeah, exactly. It was like right at the start of practice, and I knew it was done at that point. I was like, I'm pulling out of the Olympics right now. Like, I didn't know that I'd like done my ACL at that point, but there was plenty of physios around and stuff like that, and they took me down to like the wax room and started doing like the testing stuff, and it was like super clear straight away. It was like, no, you've done your ACL.
Loose,
And
everything was moving around. Oh.
Yeah, it was rough. Like,
do you have a word to describe the feeling that you had then, or were you just in shock?
Oh, a word. I don't know, like gutted. Gutted would be the word. Like, could not have been, like.
I mean, it's pretty shit timing.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
Say, like, oh, don't worry, just wait 4 more years. It's all good.
Yeah.
You got another chance.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it sucks.
Yeah.
It really sucks.
Yeah. No, it sucked because it was like, like you dream of it your whole childhood, and it was taken away like that. And not to mention, like, dude, like ACL, that's a long one. I knew that right away. I was like this isn't, I mean, like a mellower injury probably would have kind of sucked less, but I was like, I'm not snowboarding right, like I'm not snowboarding now for a really
Yeah.
long time. So it was
So
sort of
what,
like,
what is recovery for an ACL?
it's about 9 to 12 months, depending on age. When you're younger, they're trying to make
Wow.
it longer because you're not fully developed.
Right.
Yeah, so mine was 12 months. I did not snowboard for 12 months.
Oh. Whoa. Okay. Well, let's get back to we'll talk more about that. But how did you now you're on the sidelines. You're literally watching and trying to be happy for your friends
Yeah.
who are, competing and then get results. And what did you watch? Could you watch, or did you just have to go and have quiet time?
Yeah, no, I did watch. So they cancelled the event that day. And
Yeah.
I was like a massive reason to do with that, because it was like, people were like, did you just see that? Like, that was so gnarly. We are not snowboarding. And so they pushed back the TV time, which they couldn't do like an hour ago. But then all of a sudden they're like, all right, we'll run it tomorrow. So yeah, it ended up getting cancelled that day, which was pretty frustrating.
That's even a bigger, that's a dagger to the heart.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of wild because the media was like playing into it super hard, and I don't know, that whole thing in itself was like super wild.
So were you having to handle like media requests and things like that as well?
Yeah. And like, I don't know, it was like pretty bizarre because like, I guess like we were over there, but friends at home were seeing it on like the news and stuff like that. It was really like that whole 5 minutes of fame kind of thing. And it was so weird.
I wasn't in Australia at the time, I didn't see the coverage.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, wow, that's a whole nother kind of mental game to process not competing, a long recovery ahead, and then dealing with media who sometimes it's fun, sometimes it sucks.
The start of the Olympics was pretty fun with the media. At the end of it was not.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so you had to just stomach all of that.
Yeah, pretty much. Like,
did you stay in the Olympic Village? Did you stay for the 2 weeks?
No, so I stayed for a couple of days. I think Emily was competing like the next couple of days. We were sharing a room. Yeah. So yeah, I was like, I don't know, trying to be like hyped for her, but I was probably the worst roommate at the time because I was just like this like kind of mopey piece of shit, like super sad, like feeling sorry for myself, whatever. But
like, you've gone from the highest high to like the shittiest of all things that
totally
could have happened.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I hung around, I don't know, maybe 3 days or something, and then I was on a plane back home, and I got surgery like 11 days after I did it, so like super quick turnaround. Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's physical recovery, mental and emotional.
Yeah.
When you get a physical injury, it's not just like a physical thing. There's so many components to it. And you had 12 months.
Yeah. 12 months. And I was in year 12 at school, so it sucked.
Oh my gosh. Okay, before we get into that, I want to take it back to some happier days.
Yeah.
The Olympic Village.
Yeah.
Being at the Olympics with like Emily, one of your best mates.
Yeah.
Rooming at the Olympics, like I hear there was a funny story. A toilet?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that. Hold up, wait.
That's good.
Body stories.
We did have some funny ones because like she was sort of having a bit of a hard time in practice as well, so we'd sort of come home and be like, oh, like how's your day? Like we had this heated floor at the place we're staying. We sort of like lie on the ground and like half
in the bathroom.
Laugh. No, it was like in the room.
That's nice. That's nice.
We'd sort of like half like laugh about the day, half like cry about the day.
Because it was
like,
pretty frigid, right?
Yeah, it was cold. Yeah. It was windy. Like it was hectic.
Come home and lay on the heated floor.
Yeah, no, like stoked to have had her there because she's such a G. But anyway, we were staying in this new like sort of apartment place, and I think we were like some of the first people to stay there. It was really nice and stuff, but they kept having this problem with the pipes because it was so cold. Like it was minus 30 degrees. Like it was savage. Anyway, one day like I got home and the pipes had frozen. and there was just like shit literally coming out of the toilet, like so disgusting. It was like so gross. I was like, oh my God, what does that smell like? Walked into the room, whatever. And so I went down to like the reception, or like went and got like the dude who was working on the floor or whatever, managing the joint. And he didn't really speak like a word of English. And he just like walks into the bathroom and like puts his foot like under the lid of the toilet and lifts it up and just started laughing at us. And I was like so embarrassed. I was like, what the hell? It was so funny. He was like, oh my God, like, who are these girls? Like, what are they doing? Like, but it was super embarrassing, but it was really funny.
So the pipes are frozen so it wouldn't flush?
Yeah. And like toilet, like it was coming up the other way.
Oh!
Yeah, it was like everywhere.
Did it ever overflow?
Yeah, I think it did. Like it was a mess. It was a mess. It was really gnarly, but it was really funny.
Oh. The guy's like, oh, these Aussie girls.
Yeah, like disgusting.
Oh my gosh. Hey, whatever gives you giggles, hey?
Oh, totally. Like we had some
farts and poo stories will always make me giggle.
Yeah. We had some pretty, like, I don't know, there was some random stuff going on there that was like, it was really funny though. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So it wasn't
good.
all bad for sure. Like the Olympic experience, it was insane. Like nothing could have prepared me for it. Like the attention, like people coming out of like the woodworks to send you a message, say like, hey, you remember me? Like, oh, I'm stoked to be watching you. Like all that stuff. And it's super cool. Like it's super cool. It was a massive bummer that it ended that way for me. But like definitely wouldn't change it for the world because I learned so much and I needed to at that point in time. Like, you know, the benefit of hindsight is kind of incredible, especially with that experience for me, because it was actually the kick up the arse that I really needed at that point. Like I was ready to drop out of school, like kind of thing. And I think I wasn't working hard enough. I definitely wasn't working hard enough. But yeah, like doing my knee and like having everything taken away from me that quickly taught me so much. Like it taught me so much more about hard work and like work ethic and just caring about myself, because I don't think I was doing that enough. And yeah, so like, yeah, like it definitely sucked, but like, yeah, you know, and I needed it.
You know what I call that?
But
the collateral beauty.
Yeah.
All these life lessons that in the moment are so heart-wrenchingly hard, but then you step away from it or more time passes and you just have this like beautiful retrospective view of it. And clearly that year you spent off of snow, like look at the season you just came off of. Like a full year that, you know, rehab is not easy. I think it's some of the hardest work I've ever done is rehabbing an injury. So do you think that time allowed you to kind of create those foundations for now and the season you've just had and now leading into another Olympics?
100%. It taught me so much about like, looking after my body and doing all that stuff, because it was super hard. Like it was mentally, it was really tough. I was doing year 12. I hated school. Like I was not having a good time. But
and did you do year 12 over 1 year or did you split up?
Yeah, just the 1 year. Whew. Yeah. So I got it all done in that year. Like I was going to the gym a bunch. Yeah, like working on my knee and then just going to school and whatnot. But yeah, exactly like you said, like I had to put in all the groundwork there. And yeah, it was rough, but it was good. Like now looking back on that, because I wasn't going to the gym or doing any of that stuff before. I was like, nah, I don't need that. I'm all good.
That's a lesson, hey, because like watching what you do, like, I mean, the physicality of it is insane. And, you know, as I learned early on, the stronger you are, the more impact you can take. The more your body can handle, the quicker it recovers. So that's a hard lesson to learn.
Totally.
But when you said like diet too, like did you ever think of it? Did you think it mattered? Like what was it? Is now like food something you think about?
Yeah, it's definitely something I think about. I don't know, those years like as a 16-year-old in Mammoth, like I'd get home from riding and I'd just
Frozen lasagna?
I'd be smashing frozen lasagnas and like all those random ass frozen meals at the supermarket and stuff because like I didn't.
It's easy.
Yeah, and I thought I would like bounce like a rubber ball when I fell, and I did.
Yeah.
And so I just was running with that like kind of thing. But yeah, definitely realized after my knee that it was not like that anymore, and I needed to start putting in like work.
Yeah. Yeah, crazy.
Mm.
Well, good on you because, well, I guess also, what do you think the most valuable kind of lesson you learned about mindset is?
That one, to be honest, I feel like I didn't actually learn that in that year. I think that came sort of the next year, 2019, when I was like getting back on snow.
Yeah.
Because I really thought that getting back on snow, I'd just like slide right into it and it would be like I never left. But it was not like that at all. It was such a long process, and I wasn't really, I don't know, I guess I didn't actually kind of think about that. I sort of thought that, I'd just like slide right back into it and be all good. But the mindset thing, I learned about that, a lot in that next year because it was like a massive challenge, and there was a lot of points where I thought that like it was done. Like I'd missed the boat, I'd missed a year off, and everyone had kept progressing. Like,
did you have moments on the hill where you just fell and just cried?
Yeah.
'Cause I had a season like that where I felt the same and I just had to cry because it was so hard. It was so much harder.
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah. That was for sure like one of those seasons. It was things like, one thing I struggled with massively was like the sort of internal like speedometer that you have when you're going off a jump, and like knowing like, riding into a jump and being like, oh yeah, like this feels like the speed. Like it wasn't there.
Yeah.
And I just could never tell. Like I'd knuckle a jump, I'd send it off a jump, which would scare me because that's how I did my knee. And like, and I was like, oh my God, like it's gone. Yeah. And so, for a while.
If you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah, exactly. And I had to like relearn just like weird stuff like that. And I know a lot of people have like actually gotten back on snow after a knee and really like gotten back into it all good, but it was not like that for me. Like that whole northern season, I was back and forth a little bit from Oz, like trying to like keep my knee good, like still working on it heaps, like rehab. But that northern season was for sure tough, and I think there were points of it that I was like, I don't know, like I might have peaked and gone kind of thing.
Hey, you've got to entertain everything, right? You're like, do I keep going?
But no, I was super determined to keep going. And then like the Aussie season here, I sort of found a new gear and like started getting back into like, I don't know, the flow, I guess. Like really it was that, and that felt good.
Were you finding that because there's no like big events in Australia, were you finding that the less pressure was where you're able to just ride and have fun, cruise with your buds?
Totally. That, but at the same time, like try and like push myself to get back, because I was like, I've got so much work to do. Like
you had the fire.
Yeah, like I really started getting the fire, I think, at that point.
Yeah.
Because coming off that northern season 2019, I was like, oh God. I was like, I really have some like serious work to do.
Do you think that there was a level of like maturity in there, that like you just saw things differently and you're like, okay, this is like, did you look at it as a job, or what was it that you're like, okay, like I got a lot of work to do, or is it just like that you wanted to be the best you could be?
To be honest, I think I sort of refound the love for it at that point. Like I think I actually sort of lost it around that like Olympics time, getting caught up in the whole thing. But like I think being back on my board, being grateful for it, and I like that really helped me sort of like, find my love for riding again. And I think that really sort of drove my motivation from that point.
Yeah.
'Cause like, I don't know, I really just knew that I needed to like start doing something different like on my board, because I saw where the level had progressed to and I saw how far behind I was, and I was like, the only way I'm going to get there is if I just like put in the work. So I was like, I don't know, like there's nothing else. There's no way around it. Like
You're the only one that can do it.
Yeah, I've just got to do it. Like I've just got to.
And so what did
that
mean for you? Did you have a trick list like that you were like, okay, so-and-so is doing this, like I need this in my bag of tricks and then I'll be happy? Or what was your approach?
It was sort of like, I think like building up all the foundational tricks. I was just trying to get everything solid, like trying not to skip steps with anything and then just like slowly build, you know, like everything. It was, and it started when I started doing that return to snow. It was things like, you know, ollie, nollie, switch ollie, like switch nollie, like everything, just like really trying to get everything dialed and like strong foundations and then sort of build from there. Yeah.
Ooh. And then you landed into this season just gone, 2021 Northern Winter.
Oh, we had 2020 before that
sorry,
one.
2020. Sorry, I'm skipping ahead. Okay, so you're back on snow. What was 2020 for you?
2020 season was pretty good. It was interesting because I only did 2 World Cups because of COVID. So first one was in November. It was.
I feel like that year didn't exist. That's why I just skipped by it.
True. So 2019 I did my first World Cup back. I got 11th. It was at a bigger, it was pretty sketchy like event, but it was cool. Like good to be back for sure. And like 11th, I was like, oh, like that's alright. Like it was nothing great or whatever. But I went, and then 2020 started off like super strong. I went to my first Slopestyle World Cup back and like made the finals. I qualified like third into the finals. That's the highest I'd ever qualified into a final. I was like, oh, sick. Like I was like, hell yeah. Like, you know the feeling making finals. It's so good.
It's just like,
woo, yeah. Everything else is like, it's just like golden from that point.
Yeah, so
like,
relieved when you qualified for finals. Yeah.
So qualified third. I was like, whoa, like I was like sick. It was such a sick event in Sizeram, like super dope mountains, weather was perfect. Like I was really, like that was the point where I was really like working on like my mindset. I was like really challenging that at that event, which I hadn't really done as much before, but I was like sort of trying to like hone in on it heaps. And finals day, like I was just vibing, like landed all my practice stuff. I had a bit of time left in practice and I was like, no, I'm like not going to use it. Like I'm all good. And then, like went in, landed my first run and ended up winning the event off that run. And like that, I think that feeling like standing up on the podium of that event is probably like the best feeling of my whole life. Like I was like, damn, like I made it back. Like what the hell? Because there was just like so many points where I just thought like, I don't know if it's going to happen now. But like, stepping up on that podium was just like, probably like, I don't know, like the best moment of my whole life, to be honest.
Oh, I could cry. Because, coming off of like pretty much broken heart, you know, finding the love for like snowboarding
bottom.
again.
Rock bottom for sure.
Let's not sugarcoat that one. And then, winning a World Cup, best moment of your life.
Yeah, for sure. You know, massive bottle of champagne, like that thing is going flying for sure.
I got the visual already.
Yeah, no, that felt good. That felt like really good because like, I don't know, it's just nice when you see hard work paying off. I think sometimes, like personally, I have a hard time telling, I don't know, like I guess being accountable for yourself, like am I actually working hard or do I just think that I'm working hard? And like that was a point that I was like I've been working hard and like it's nice to see it paying off. Yeah, everyone likes to see hard work paying off, but that point for me was like it was worth it. It was all worth it.
Oh, it's beautiful. And then into the 2021 season.
Yeah.
That we spoke about at the beginning. Your biggest winter yet, lots of podiums, lots of, you know, titles. And here we are today. Speaking on the dump. What's 2022 looking like? There's an Olympic year. How is qualification going? When does that start?
Well, so that started. So this past year was that. yeah, I don't know, I guess going into this past year was a crazy one with COVID. Like, we were going overseas, we knew, for a really long time. We ended up being over there for 6 months, so we left October of last year, like, sort of mentally prepared for like
you knew you were
really
away for a while. Yeah.
A long time, and it was going to be a tough time because like going into like that crazy COVID world was pretty weird. Like, it was super weird. I guess in Australia we're actually like pretty sheltered from it all, and I sort of realized that going over there it was like pretty different, and it was for sure stressful because like qualifying year, I wanted to compete. I was there to compete and ride, and I just didn't really want to, like, I know it's hard, like, yeah, I guess there to, in a sense, do a job. Like, we were there to compete and there to ride, and I didn't want to, like, get hurt or, like, get COVID, you know, like, and it was tough for sure at times. Like, none of our plans that we had at the start of the season happened.
Yeah.
Resorts were getting shut, like,
Guess you
countries'
have to be,
borders
like,
quite and whatnot.
quite adaptable.
Super,
and just
super.
roll with
Yeah,
it.
yeah. And we
Yeah.
did, and like it ended up being super sick. Like, I actually had like a blast. I had such a fun season. Just rode heaps. Like, competing was super, super sick. Like, especially because like we weren't really hanging out with people, so going to events was like, oh my god, people! Like, so stoked to see them. And then like the riding on top of that was sick. But like, yeah, I think Larks was really fun, went really well at that one. Weather was a bit challenging, but like, I don't know, I was just like vibing.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, it was good.
So okay, we're heading into 2022 Olympic year. North Face has signed you. Monster Energy has signed you. You've got Modest Eyewear, who's been a big supporter. Am I missing anyone? Ambassador of Threadbow.
Salomon
Snowboards. Yeah. Are you boards, boots, and bindings?
Yeah.
So I rode for Salomon back in the day. Still ride their boots.
Yeah.
They're
so
amazing.
Yeah.
You're feeling good.
Yeah,
then.
like, I don't know. I'm just having a good time. I think that's so good. Like, I think that's the most important thing for me, especially like, I guess there was a while where maybe I wasn't having as much fun as I should have been. And like, I guess now, I don't know, I'm just trying to like put in as much work as I can. Like, you know, I want to get to the end of...
Be prepared.
Yeah.
Right.
And I want to get to the end of this and be like nothing left in the tank.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Like, give it everything, no excuses kind of thing. And then just like, and like have a good time while doing it. Like, damn, this lifestyle's pretty sick.
So,
not gonna lie. Like, so I'm just living that up because like, I don't want to be out there like complaining. Like, I don't know, what I'm doing is like super cool and I'm super privileged to be doing it.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I might as well be like having a like really good time.
So goal number 1, have fun.
Yeah.
What are your goals for 2022 and this coming Olympics? What is the biggest, I guess, takeaway from your last Olympic experience that you're going to bring into these next ones?
I guess like I'm in a very different position sort of mentally now because I know what to be prepared for. Like I've been to one, I've seen it and whatnot, and I think I'm a lot more like mature now going into this one. But you know, like I think sort of being able to see now that it's not like the be all and end all is super important. And like, yeah, like you said, like the number one thing is like fun, and that's what I'm gonna like go and do, like for sure.
Oh, I love that. I love that because honestly, we snowboard because we love it.
Yeah,
and that is like the essence of the sport. That is who we are. That's how I always had the best results, pretty much. Like, do you like that camaraderie with the other girls? Do you find the joy? Do you find the fun at the top of the course?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
What's your deal?
Yeah, I love it. Like,
are you singing? Are you dancing? Are you listening to your own music? What is Tess going to be doing when she's dropping into the slopestyle on the big air in 2022?
Well, hopefully I'll just be like, I don't know, big smile on my face and like, yeah, I don't know, super grateful. Like that's a big thing I think, you know, like looking out into the mountains wherever we'll be in like China, which is kind of wild, but like
So bizarre.
yeah, pretty bizarre for sure. But yeah, no, I'll just hopefully just be like super grateful to be there because that's all it can really be.
And who's your biggest competitor? Like the female slopestyle riding, I think is the most impressive to watch. The girls are ripping. Like I have to like slow-mo and like count how many rotations sometimes. Like I can't keep up. It's like the trickery is amazing. It's exciting to watch. The progression it keeps going. So who have you got your eyes on?
It's hard to pinpoint one person, honestly. Like the level's super high right now, and I think there's a lot of like really incredible female riders that could be a threat. Like anyone could be a threat on like a good day for sure. But I think Zoe's gonna kill it. Jamie's gonna kill it. I think Anna will kill it. Kokomo and Layla and Miyabi, the Japanese girls, they'll ride really well. Laurie as well. Like I think there'll be plenty of really sick girls out there. So yeah, no, I think it'll be fun.
It's gonna be a showdown.
Yeah, I really hope it will be because that'd be cool. Like the last one wasn't in Slopestyle.
Yeah.
It's like super disappointing. That was half the thing.
That's what I think a lot of people were disappointed about. That it wasn't a show.
You know, everyone's like, well, since the games before, they were like, oh, what the hell? Like, have they gone backwards or something? But it was like, no, like it was just like super challenging out there. So no, I think I hope it'll be like a really good showing. Hopefully we get some sweet weather and hopefully everyone like has their best day. Yeah, that'd be dope.
So I'm just gonna ask straight out: is a medal something you're looking for?
I don't know. Like, I guess that's such a hard question to
I know,
answer.
It's shitty because I've been on the other end. Because it's like, this is how I looked at it too. It's one day.
Yeah.
In 4 years.
Yeah.
That the stars have to align.
Yeah.
That you're healthy. That you're feeling it. Because some days you head up to the mountain and it doesn't matter if the sun's shining and the birds are tweeting. Like, sometimes, like, your body just isn't quite working the way it does for 99% of the time. So stars have to align.
Yeah, totally.
But do you feel, I guess let me put it this way, do you feel that on your day you can compete with the best and be a medal contention?
I mean, to be honest, like between now and then, I know that I've got heaps of work to do. Like I've got a lot of work to do. And I'm like pretty excited for that. Like it's good to know that you need to put in work. So I don't know, like honestly, there's so much that I have to do between now and then. Like honestly, who knows? Like I know that's kind of like a really bad answer, but like who knows?
It means I got a lot in my bag.
Nah.
And I'm working on being the best I can be and put everything on the table so that I have the best chance I can have, right?
Yeah, I mean, like I'd for sure like to just do that, like put in like everything I can and then just see like, but yeah, no, it'll be a big season nonetheless, and like I'm really excited for it. Like,
yep, you're ready for a redo.
I hope so. That'd be sweet. That'd be sweet for sure.
Oh, she's coming back. Well, okay, so in 2026. The next Winter Olympics.
Yeah.
You're only going to be 25. Like, you're a baby. Is that like, are you in for the long haul? You gunning, like, as long as you're loving it?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Like, exactly that. Like, so long as I'm loving it. But, like, yeah, hopefully there's other events now that I get to target, things like X Games, which come around every year, and the US Open. I've never done one of those, and Dew Tour and whatnot. Those would be really cool. Wait,
you've never done a US Open?
No, I got invited to the US Open the year after I did my knee. So I was like, oh my God, thank you so much, but I can't come. Like,
okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, I've never done one of those. So I think there's a lot of, like, for me, it's not just like the Olympics. There's a lot of things I actually really want to tick off in my snowboard career. So
you're saying you want to do more than just park too?
That'd be cool for sure. That'd be cool.
And have
Like,
some backcountry experiences?
Yeah.
Or where do you see your riding going?
I honestly, I don't know. Like, it's so hard. Like, predicting into the future is, like, terrifying. But, yeah, I'm not really sure. Like, I love riding in the park. I have gotten, like, a little bit of experience, like, side country or whatever. Not heaps, but it's so sick and it's super fun. But honestly, I have no idea. Like, I'd love to I just want to be on my board and just see where it takes me kind of thing. Because, like...
yes. So maybe natural selection one day. Maybe big mountain shredding.
Yeah.
You never
that'd be
know.
fun for sure.
So what I love about you is your style. Is it something that you've had to work on? Or does that just come natural to you? Like, it's all those tweaks and pokes and, like, you just... I don't have style like that. I want it. I watch you and I want it.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess growing up, that was super important. Like, when I was a grom back in, like, the TSC days, people would, like, sort of nitpick style and, like, you know, nitpick what was cool or what wasn't cool. So I was sort of brought up in that and, you know, watching, like, RK1 and, like, Mayhem and whatnot. And I just loved the way those guys ride and the way they grab their boards or tweaked and whatnot. And I just, like, I think that's something for me personally that I care about heaps.
Yeah.
Like, not
it's
so much
an art form. And
it totally is.
You really are portraying that.
Yeah, cool. Nah, I totally see it like that, like snowboarding. Yeah, exactly. It's like a form of, like, self-expression. Like, there's no right way, there's no wrong way. Exactly. It's like art. Like, you do what you think is cool. I'm not going to look at something and be like, I don't know, like, not really worry about, the tweak or whatnot or the way that was done. But when I do it, I'm like, yuck, that was gross. Or like, that was right, like, whatever, that kind of thing. But yeah, no, I don't know. I guess I care about that stuff because I like the way, I want to like the way that it looks. And then I still see stuff that I do and I'm like, oh, yuck, like, what was that? That was whack. But nah, it's cool.
Well, I think that shows, like, the attributes of a champion, and everything we've spoken about is I'm excited for you. I love that you actually don't even want to go there and claim what you want to get out of snowboarding because you just want to, like, give it your all, be in love with it every step of the way, and where it goes, it goes. And I think that's awesome. And the crazy thing is that 2022 is the next Olympics, 2026, then 2030. Like, you potentially, like, have a few more Olympics in you if you want. It's wild. Anyway, you are just a legend. You're so fun. I love seeing, like, your quirkiness with the girls on tour. I actually wish that I was on tour. You make me wish that I was still on tour.
We would have had a blast
because it's
for
so
sure.
fun.
Yeah. It's good fun.
I think we would have had a good time.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, I just, like, I can't thank you enough. Thank you for talking to us. Your journey is truly, truly amazing. And we just spoke for an hour plus and you've only just begun. It's incredible. There is so much more to come, Tess. What do we say?
I don't know. Thanks for having me. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Oh.
You.